Across England, 1 in 3 children are starting reception in primary school without the required skills for them to thrive. Research undertaken by Child of the North Group was unveiled earlier this week at a summit in Leeds, which highlighted the decline in school readiness among children of school starting age. I spoke to an early years teacher from a primary school in inner city Leeds to see if this decline is felt day to day.
This has been a huge issue, and I know not just in our school, colleagues across the city and in other locations that I know of, particularly more so in, I'd say, the last 3 or 4 years. It's something that has been really prevalent. We're seeing children that haven't been to a nursery at all. We're seeing at least over half of those children that do come in not with adequate toilet training, social skills, not being able to do simple things like putting coats on, taking shoes on and off, being able to cook food. Some children not even able to drink out of a cup, wanting beakers, that sort of thing. We've seen a decline with fine motor skills, children not being able to hold a pencil, crayon correctly, or even able to have the range of motion to be able to mark make.
There hasn't just been a decline in the physical motor skills that children lack, however. Decreased social interaction with other children, possibly due to the COVID-19 pandemic, has also been said to have negatively impacted children's social development.
Social skills is definitely a huge area, and it's something that we work on from day one. Children coming in unable to share, children coming in with less language skills, definitely less vocabulary. These are things now that we kind of have to ensure are in place before we can move on to anything else.
The term COVID babies has been used to describe these children born during the COVID-19 pandemic, whose development has been negatively impacted by lockdowns and restrictions associated with this period of time. But are there any other reasons for this decline in children's readiness to begin school?
This cohort and the previous 2 years, we can talk about sort of COVID and the impact that had in terms of those children not going or getting the right support in terms of nursery, the reduction in health visitors, I think, so children not getting the access early on that they need. But equally, I think screen time plays a big part in that, and just simple things like routines, like children not having a traditional bedtime story or stories read to them. I think everybody leads such busy lives, and it's not sort of blaming parents, it's just how things are. Key skills like reading to your child and having that time just for conversation is just absolutely vital, which I don't think happens as much nowadays. Growing up, you learn how to turn, to share, to take risks, all these things. I think we're coming away slightly from that with more use of technology, and technology absolutely has its place and it's really important. But those basics of just being around others and learning those skills, sharing, taking turns, being able to negotiate, and as I said, take risks, that's so key in child development. And play throughout the provision as well is really important. We are finding that those basic skills we are having to teach now, whereas before we would be sort of just adding to those and developing those skills. Now we're really having to explicitly teach from the beginning.
Teachers in schools are having to do more than ever to bridge the gap between where children are when starting school and where they should be. For this school, the process starts long before pupils even set foot on the premises for their first day.
So we start really early with our children. As soon as we know which children are allocated to our schools, as soon as the parents get their offer letters and accept in April, May time, we contact the parents, we do home visits, we meet with any prior nurseries they've been to, speak with staff, speak with any agencies that might be involved with those families, and we go out to visit the families, as I said, and we talk through what would be expected by the time they come to reception. And we have some visuals and a booklet that we do give to parents now with just really key skills, things like basic things like toilet training, shoes on, coat on, how to help with that. We also run stay and play sessions before our children start with us in September, so that we can then model those skills to parents and kind of try and support that as well. So there's lots of gaps that we're trying to plug. We also use our family mentors. They'll help families as well if there's any families that do require extra support perhaps, and we will start referrals early. So if, for example, a child's coming to us in September with very low language skills and we feel that the interventions alone won't help, we need a bit of further help like speech and language therapy, we'll put those referrals in early as well. So we do all that prior to the children starting in September to hopefully try and close some of those gaps.
It's not just down to teachers to carry the load though. parents can be active in ensuring their child isn't already at a disadvantage when beginning their education journey.
There's lots online, lots of things on .gov.uk, lots of support. There's lots of early years websites you can go on that can help with things that you can do at home to help to get them ready for school. Once you get your offer place at your allocated school, if they're not in touch, give them a call straight away. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help and ask them, what can I do to get my child ready. The government this year has started sending out booklets with some of the things to help parents get the children ready, the absolute basics. So there are lots of things available, it's just knowing where to look, I guess. But I think the main thing, get in touch with your school and tell them, all schools have family mentors and staff ready to support. We all want the best start for the children. The most important thing is getting them ready for school, so as soon as they come into school, they're ready to learn, and that's key.